Here we have a new 2026 Ford Ranger. Now this one comes in a Lariat trim level with the FX4 Off-road package, desert sand paint, and then we do have sandstone ActiveX interior. For the powertrain, we get a 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. As we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights and LED fog lights. The lights don't dance like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. And I apologize for the wind. It's very windy today, but really like this paint here, the overall look of the truck. Down here, these are gonna be 18-inch machine aluminum wheels. And I like how that kind of matches the trim around the truck. We have running boards here, passive keyless entry on the front, power door lock controls, memory seat functions, and then we have our power folding mirrors, rear window lockouts there, power mirror controls, and then we do have one-touch up and down windows on the front, regular power windows on the back. There's a handle, blind spot monitors in the side mirrors. And then over here we do have our headlamp controls, cargo lamp, hood release. There's a look at the pedals, manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And here's our power driver seat with two-way power lumbar support. Now I want to give a huge thanks to Ford Lincoln of Franklin here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But seat back pockets here, pretty good space, I think, for this kind of truck. It helps that these seats are power so you can really get that sweet spot, have the seat down low enough, have it back far enough without having to just adjust it and you can't ever get it right. But again, seat back pockets are on both sides here. The floor mats haven't been installed yet, so they're kind of in the way. But you get a USB-C, USB-A charge duo down there, and then a 120-volt 3-prong household plug-in. And there's a view of the front from back here. LED reading lights throughout. There are the bottle holders. And there's a look at the rear window, but that's power. I'll show you how to activate that here in a little bit. Grab handle, shirt hanger. And this does have a B&O sound system, and that's a nice touch as well. But here is the child lock. You can do it on either door. Turn that one way or the other to activate those or deactivate them. Fuel fillers here. And as we come around to the back end, we do get the LED tail lights here. And I believe the actual turn signals and reverse lights are not LED, but that's why those lights are dancing like that, because those are LED. But hitch receivers here, spare tires underneath, exhaust. And over here you have a 3-prong household plug-in as well. Now over here, you can grab this strap here, pull up, and then you have a little access to some space underneath the seat. And then you have your lower anchors for the car seats sticking out there on either side. And you can pull this strap up here, and you have top tethers behind the actual seat itself. Now I'm going to show you the window sticker. You all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look. I apologize for the glare and the tint. It's kind of hard to see through it, but there are all of your standard features. And then if we come down to the optional equipment, there's all of that. Couple discounts here. $52,345 is the sticker price. 19 city, 24 highway. Crash test ratings are there. And then to our front passenger seat, I love that we get power with two-way power lumbar support here. You have a top storage pocket here, lockable glove compartment down below, and then you also have a top tray here as well, and you just push that button to activate it. And That's how you know if you have the B&O sound system. That will be right there, that little logo. Back around to the front end. There's that 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. I'm hoping y'all can still hear me again. This engine's purring relatively loud, and the wind is just insane today. But before we hop in the driver's seat, just a quick look at the blinkers. It's much better. All right, so here's our, I believe this is actual leather wrapped steering wheel. There's the horn. Now over here to the radio, I'm just gonna walk you through this. You have AM, FM, XM here, and you can save your presets just by holding this down, and then that'll activate that. And I really just like how this radio's set up here. So you can go navigation, phone, and then you have your media here. You're gonna pair a device, again, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility, and then you even have a tow app down here. And it's just neat how all this is just where it's supposed to be. And then you have your drop down apps here. If you hit that little car icon, you can pull up the controls, so your automatic brake hold, and then your sound if you want to adjust that, your driver assistance if you want to fool with that, your adaptive cruise, you can turn that on, lane centering as well. Your general settings, you can change your language here, temperature unit, measurement unit, and then your tire pressure unit if you want to do that. So pretty neat what all that you can, configure, and it's very easy to do. Now we do have a front camera here, bird's eye views there, and you have your backup camera as well. A lot of different camera views, especially for towing, is nice to have this. Parking sensors can be adjusted in that bottom right-hand corner when the camera's up as well.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
And that's your shortcut for the your Bluetooth device there. Now down here, you have to hit this to pull up the fan speed, or not the fan speed, but the fan direction. You can change that to feet, face, and then you have the defroster there. But what I like is most everything else you can adjust down here. So you don't have to do everything through the screen, even though you can. Like in the Mach-E and some of the other newer Fords, you don't have buttons and knobs down below to adjust your HVAC. And here you can adjust temperature on either side, adjust that fan speed. Your hazards are there, but I'm so glad that they have this here. Because a lot of people in this segment, they don't like having the AC controls in the screen, and it's nice that you can do either or. But the heated steering wheel, 3-stage heated seats for the front, all that's there. Down here, wireless charging pad, and you do have a USB-C and a USB-A duo there. That plugs directly into the radio. The shifter, if I hit the brake, you do have your reverse, and you have your neutral, you have your drive, you have your manual mode, and you can toggle what gear you're in the manual mode there. And you can see in that bottom left-hand corner, again, excuse the glare, what gear you're in when you're using that. Your electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down and disengage. Bottle holders are there. And then here, that's your parking. So you can pull up the sensors on the fly there. Traction control, toggle, auto stop. And then if you hit this button here, this is the view you get. So you can kind of see the tire pressure, and you can pull up the rear differential lock and all of that. But then you just have your full 4-wheel drive, so low, high, 2-wheel, and then you can use the knob itself to toggle the drive modes. And you can see you have your normal, eco, sport, tow haul, and then you have your slippery, mud ruts, and then sand. So we'll leave that in normal for now. Center console cubby space, removable tray is in there. You have a 12-volt as well. And then up here, your lights, sunglasses holder. And I'll show you how we use this sliding rear window. You push that in to open it, and then you shut it back by pulling back. Garage door transmitters here. And there's the vanity mirror. Now back up front, left side stock, blinkers, high beams. Right side, you actually get automatic wipers here. So one time off, auto, low, high. You can adjust that auto frequency here, pull up for the fluid. And now to the left side of the steering wheel, there is quite a bit over here. So, I mean, it is what it is. Your cruise control, you can turn that on, and then you can adjust the gap by hitting this button. You'll see how far the gap is on the screen. Adjust your speed, and then you can cancel, resume there. You have the limiter here, so that'll limit your speed on the cruise, and then you have the lane keeping system there. Volume down, volume up, voice recognition, and then on this side, Bluetooth, trackless radio station presets, and then this goes through your gauge cluster in the middle here, so you can pull up your menus and then see the off-road status and driver assistance. There's tire pressure monitors, all of that. There's a lot you can see here, pitch and roll. So, a ton of different views there. And then push button start is right here. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Ford Ranger Lariat with the FX4 package out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Ranger Lariat, I have it in eco mode now. I'm gonna keep it there for a little bit. Probably gonna put it into normal if I remember after a while, and then put it into sport getting onto the interstate. But the normal mode for me, just enough power, just enough efficiency, and you don't have to go between the different drive modes as often. But again, for the sake of testing everything out, I am gonna use the different drive modes that are available. So in eco mode, the same amount of throttle that I give in normal mode, I can just tell if the vehicle is limiting itself, which is good if you're trying to save fuel, you're trying to be as efficient as possible. But again, it's kind of like holding you back in terms of the power you're getting. It also tends to, I don't want to say shudder, but with most of these fuel management systems, you can feel the vehicle being held back based on the computers and just based on the throttle response and all of that. So that's something that you'll feel here. It's not as bad as in some other vehicles. And once you get used to it, it's just something that is part of everyday life now. These active fuel management systems that dictate how much fuel you're getting, how much power you're getting based on what drive mode you're in. But I want to put it into normal mode now. So when I come out of this corner giving the same throttle response, you can even hear the turbo spool up a bit more. You hear that blow off sound. Now this 2.3 Turbo 4, I really like how it gets up to speed. I like how it accelerates. I like how it moves overall. Honestly, I think for the displacement here, it has a lower displacement than the 2.7 Turbo from GM, the 2.4 from Toyota. And I feel like, partially because of the different drive modes you have, this has a lot more pep in its step compared to those powertrains. Now the 2.7 in normal mode still will scoot. That Turbo Max is it's something else. It really is quick, and the tuning ability you have is crazy. But you know, that's why Ford has the Raptor, the Ranger Raptor, to compete with the ZR2s, the HE4Xs from GM in terms of the Canyon and Colorado lineup. So I mean, I think Ford's still top dog when it comes to the engines, and I mean the power again from this 2.3 specifically in sport mode will at least run toe-to-toe with everything else out there in this segment, I think. I'm gonna put it into sport mode now. We're gonna give it a good pull getting on the interstate here. Well, hopefully we'll be able to. Here we go. So I mean, the pickup is really good. The power's there, the sound is good. Really like how the truck moves. And then even merging onto the interstate and eco mode, when you put your foot down enough, it kind of reads what you're trying to do and it gets going. Now I do want to give one more huge thanks to Ford Lincoln of Franklin here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now the sound acoustics in here are pretty good. I mean, the truck as it stands is just, I think, a good deal for the money. When you think about having the interior here, heated seats, heated steering wheel, the Co-Pilot 360 system, you get that lane centering with adaptive cruise, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, power sliding rear window. I'm very impressed with what you get for this price point. And this powertrain is just very nice as well. The overall driving dynamics are good. How it handles is decent. It's just a good mid-sized pickup truck. And again, I think it gives GM and Toyota a run for their money, even Nissan if you want to throw the Frontier in there. But the Lariat trim, tons of luxury. And I mean, it's a good, solid mid-sized pickup, period. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Ford Ranger Lariat with the FX4 package.